At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life After Happiness. Today, I have my co-host Barb here with me. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, hi everybody. How are you today, Johnny?
Good. You know, we decided to do a topic today that had to do with boredom. Dealing with being bored, and sometimes I think how it has, like, when you're bored, you do things and then you start feeling like, am I being productive? You know, or like I play all these video games, it did keep a boy crazy.
Do you feel guilty when you play the video games?
Not really guilty, just sort of like, I want to get over the boredom. I mean, you never said that you were into video games all that much. Am I right about that?
I used to love them when I was a kid, but I cannot go there. That would be on the same level for me watching a TV show because I get addicted to series and I'll tend to binge watch. But if I turn that on, I will say, okay, one episode, but that leads into more, and that could chip away at your day. And I get that same feeling that you're talking about, where you're feeling unproductive and you have so much to do, you need to
Hmm.
be productive. So to fight boredom, I hear you. And I've been so bored at times that I actually have shed tears over my boredom because it's so frustrating. You want the little things that you have to do to be enjoyable and fun because they have been before,
Hmm.
you know, checking off the box, getting your tasks done. It's a good feeling. But sometimes things like that can get so mundane. It's called burnout, I think.
How do you combat boredom?
It's very difficult because if you reach the point where you get so bored of what you're doing and you reach the point of burnout, it's real hard to shake that off alone. Sometimes you even would have to see a psychologist because you start to think, something wrong with me? Am I changing? Am I not healthy? Am I missing some vitamins because I'm not feeling the regular verve for life or I'm not feeling any inspiration? What's wrong with me? I'm normally just happy go lucky with just doing my normal daily tasks, but add a couple of things like moving. That's what I've been doing. I've been undoing boxes and trying to find spaces for lots of stuff. And sometimes it works. Sometimes I have to redo it. Many times I have to redo it. And I have people around me probably wondering, well, what's wrong with her? Why? I thought that was done. Now it's out on the floor again. It like I do things a different way. And me personally, I cannot stand to feel boredom. And many times, many days, almost sometimes every day, I'll say, oh, I'm bored, I'm bored. So this is a question. This is a good question, and I don't know if I'm the proper person to solve it because I fight
Hmm.
boredom quite often. I'm spoiled too. I admit it. I'm spoiled. I want to be entertained. So what can we do, Johnny? Do you have any suggestions besides
Well, I'm
video
curious
games?
to know, like, for example, when you and Elkie get together, like, how do you combat boredom?
Well, that's not boredom because you're getting together. That's an event. That's a get
I
together. That's
understand
a
that, but I'm just saying, like, what does Elkie do to combat boredom?
well, I don't know what she does because she probably I know she gets frustrated with having to do paperwork too.
Right? Okay.
I don't know. It depends on the subject. We would have to ask her, but
I
she's
guess
an
I was
active
just
person.
thinking,
Everybody
yeah.
know. Okay, Johnny, here's the point. Everybody knows what to do when they're bored. There's a million things to do out there.
You're right.
Yes, but aren't we talking about what we have to do? Like mundane
That's true.
things. Like
That is
okay,
true.
or even if it can be fun, why aren't we diving into it? Like, I love editing shows. but sometimes I put it on the back burner because there's always these other little things to do. I have trouble with the little things to do, the mundane little things to do, get me all bored. But if you put those things off, your life's worse. So we have to do them. That's what I'm trying to get at. Bored when you meet up with people? No, I don't have boredom then. Bored when you are actually doing your video game? No, no, you're not bored. If I want to procrastinate, what do I do when I'm bored? That's the topic of that, not how do we feel and can we fix procrastination. That's not the topic. The topic is what do we do when we're bored?
Right.
Do you want to ask me that?
I probably I just what I do is I play video games with what I do. I find video games to play and I play them. And
Okay, video games, you, TV episodes of me, binge watching. Excuse me. What else could you do? What else could you do? I would go hit some golf balls, but that's not getting the stuff done that maybe I really need to get done. But that's a thing
well,
that
I
I
also
do
take
do.
Zoe for a walk. That's what I do.
Yes, I go for a jog around the park. I lift weights. I do some stretching. But you know what? There's two things I really want to do that are creative. Maybe that's the answer.
Yeah.
Do something creative. Like I haven't even practiced my drums for a while since the move. It's like, why is that the last thing to plug in? That should be one of
Yeah.
my first things to plug in. Maybe that would cause me not to be bored if I got even a 10-minute practice in the morning after my coffee. Maybe that would make me feel like more happy to do all the other stuff because I fulfilled a creative void in myself. So maybe that's the answer right there. We were talking about before we went on that your father does a daily meditation, which
Right.
remember I was doing that all the time and my mind was clear, and I think that would help too. I think we're answering our own question by just talking about it.
Well, he is also what I always thought was kind of fascinating subject that does deal with boredom is dreaming, the subject of dreaming, because it's like my father told me this. He said that um there's something very powerful to me about dreaming because it's the one, and I know this may not seem like it's not a tangent because dreaming to me is a topic that is fascinating when you study it, and it can get you out of boredom.
Yeah,
But
but
the
can we
thing that
force ourselves to dream? Can we make ourselves dream?
I'm gonna tell you something that I found that that worked for me. But the subject of the show is about boredom. But
Yeah, but you're saying, okay, let me just ask that question differently because we all, of course, we dream, but can we remember our dreams? Because your
well,
dad, he's a
actually,
psychologist. He was a psychologist, so he
actually,
would know.
I have found something um that that's interesting. Um, Many years ago, there was this memory course that I took, and they told us about the various vitamins that was supposed to help with memory.
Oh,
One of the memories things that I took was a vitamin called lecithin, and it was a powder.
could you repeat that vitamin, please?
Lecithin,
Oh,
lecithin.
lecithin, yes.
Okay,
Wow. It's clear. It's a wonderful clear vitamin. I like
right.
that with the
But this
liquid
one
inside.
was done in the powder, and what would happen is I took lecithin before I went to bed one night, and that night I had the single most vivid dream I've ever had in my life. It
Oh,
was just everything was detailed, and I told my father about it. He got real excited because it made sense to him, but also because I found it by accident. It wasn't like it was, the idea that the lesson would have done made sense, but it's like he was telling me one time that when he dreams, that he does things that he doesn't normally do, like going to baseball games and everything. With me,
oh,
I am the opposite of how I am in real life. I don't worry about anything when I dream. You know, I sort of go into the state of like, and nothing bad's gonna happen to me. You know, I start dreaming about like, you know, my friends and everything and helping them out and everything. I don't dream about, you know, necessarily being hurt. I just sort of dream about, you know, being more in control because it's sort of the opposite of how I am in life. How I feel in real life, you know, where I feel out of control.
Well,
And
that's positive, though. You're
yeah,
dreaming. It's like you're manifesting. If you were dreaming negative thoughts, that wouldn't be so good. But that wouldn't be a dream, that'd be a nightmare. So I haven't really remembered much about my dreams lately, but that's a good thing. Okay, another thing is to get inspired because boredom, it might not be so good for a person. It's boredom could be a little bit of a depression.
right.
Yes, because we should find, I really do love to find joy in every second, every little thing I do. And sometimes when I do feel joyous, even washing all the pots and pans can feel fine and great. And put on some
But
music.
you know,
Oh, music is a good inspirational tool for boredom. Yes, it could
Zoe, you
change your
know,
mood like that. Put on some
Zoe, the thing
AirPods.
about Zoe is that you start looking at the world for her eyes. I mean, Zoe will want to make sure that she's not left out, you know,
Your
and so
dog,
I
your
know.
dog, that could bring you a lot of joy. Yes.
And Zoe will just seek me out, you know, and she'll be like, she gets mad when you know, people are doing something and she's not a part of it. Um, Zoe will, you know, it's just such a, and it does make my parents happy. You know, the dog is sort of like, comes sort of, I mean, it's sort of funny because my sister one time told me, she goes, Johnny, that dog has taken over the whole house. But, you know, it's in a good way because you know the dog is sort of like a the way it looks at everything. You know,
It's
it
inquisitive,
yeah,
inquisitive. And then you see it through the dog's eyes of this is seeing something new, like a baby you see through the eyes.
right.
I think we're coming up with some good ideas. So your dog, you see things through your dog's eyes, which brings inspiration, joy, just not boredom, basically not boredom. And people could find that in an animal. They could go to the
And I think
zoo.
that
There's so many things to do that aren't expensive. You can actually go feed the ducks. That's a good thing. Go feed the ducks.
when I first, you know, for a long time, Zoe would always probably associate things with my parents. You know, waking up, sleeping with my parents, everything. And I think she's starting to associate with the walk with me. You know, it's just sort of like it means that you know Otani's here. You know, he's gonna take me out on the beach, and like Zoe will circle me with the lead. He
Sounds like
will
he
actually
loves you too. So yeah, don't discount yourself saying, "Oh, well, sure, Zoe makes my parents happy." Zoe sounds like Zoe's making you very happy too, Johnny. So
he
that's a good
circles.
thing. That's
He circles.
great.
Yeah,
He sure is, huh?
I know.
Oh, I want to get a kitty cat so bad, but I'm not going to. But my daughter and I, we want a kitty cat so badly because I just miss it. Even if just a neighbor had a kitty cat, I'd be fine with that. She has a friend with a
Does
cat.
your
She gets to
apartment
cuddle it.
allow for kitty? Does your apartment allow for cats?
Yes, remember I did have a cat and she was killed by the coyote.
I thought that it wasn't that there was a law in your apartment against pets or something.
No, everybody has dogs here. There's like the poop containers all around for your convenience with plastic bags that they fill up for people. I already paid the $500 cat deposit when I moved in here 5 years ago. She died right away. So if I want to get a cat, I have got two birds. They never said anything. You know, they can't really damage the place. But if I wanted to get a dog, a service dog, it would be no rent. If I got a cat, there's no rent and I've already paid the 500 down. So, you know what? I just am not getting a cat because I don't like the smell of the litter box. That's all. That's the only reason. That's it.
Hmm.
And well, there's another reason. Like when you go out of town, it's a lot. It's like kind of like a lot that you got to deal with. But if I have birds, why not have a cat, right?
Right.
I really want one. I want to cuddle it so badly. Remember there was the psychics we'd have on the show and they all said, don't get one, don't get one. Remember?
Which
Dale always said, don't get one, Barbara, don't get one. And I really want one so badly though.
did she say why?
Um, yeah, for the latter reason that it's too much trouble when I go out of town. It holds you back and it can hold you back in life. It's a pain in the butt. It's always a problem. But really you just have to get a cat sitter. That's all. They come over and it's like $20 a day. So
Hmm.
it's an expense. It also is an expense of food and care and litter and then there's this chance. I mean, there's no way I can stop it from jumping up on the railing because the other place, yeah, I could have made a little like a chicken fence thing, but here it's so around the whole place. I've got the biggest patio of all here at the place. It's awesome and gorgeous. I love it. There's no way I could stop a cat from jumping up there. So it'd be a risk. It'd be another risk. But if a cat came over and just started living with me, I'd be fine with that.
Hmm. Okay, that's great.
Okay, so everybody, things about boredom, just to think about. We're not experts on
Hmm.
your psyche of how could you magically not be bored. We just talked about some of the things that we use for boredom, that we are hearing people who are bored, that we do experience boredom. It is a thing. It's no fun. It's on the borderline of depression. I think you agree.
Yes,
And
yes.
so let's stop it before it goes down that far. And it's pretty easy. Pick up a book. Oh, one more thing, you guys. I can't forget to tell you this thing that stimulates the brain and the artistic thing and would do it for anybody out there. It's adult coloring books. You just put it out, wherever you are, balcony, terrace, bedroom, and have a cup of coffee and just like color in, get some nice pencils and just have your colored pencils around and you color in these little intricate deals like how kids do coloring books. Kids, we all know, when they play, they learn. When they do crafts, they learn. So why would that ever stop? So do a little something with your hands, hand-eye coordination. We're not saying go do calisthenics at all, are we? We're saying
Hmm.
color in a coloring book. It works. I got mine on Amazon. All right, everybody, make sure that you follow us. Click the follow button here on Spreaker, Life After Happiness, to get all of our updates because we're doing shows all the time. And it's fun. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Johnny. Follow us on all of our social media, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.